What's up, everyone, and welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron. Today we're checking out the new EP, The Fear of Fear, by the band Spiritbox. The Canadian metalcore sensation returns with their fourth EP. They formed in 2017 and basically blew up overnight thanks to their blend of heavy/melodic music and Courtney's beautiful cleans and aggressive distorted vocals. Their debut album, Eternal Blue, was one of the biggest releases of 2021, and I gotta say, it did not disappoint. I personally fell in love with their less brutal songs and took more of a liking to the euphoric atmosphere found within their more melodic pieces. The singles for The Fear of Fear were definitely heavy at times, but they also had more of an alt metal feel to them, turning a lot of fans away almost instantly. But I gotta say, it did pique my curiosity. I was wondering what direction they were gonna go musically. Were they still gonna be heavy? Was it mostly just gonna be more of a chill kind of EP? Like, where were they going with the sound? Because their last album had a mixture of both. So I wasn't sure if they were gonna just decide to commit to one or the other. The EP opens up with the song Cellar Door, which comes in with a heavy riff and drums. The verse is really stompy with distorted vocals. I gotta say that Courtney's vocal tone is always fantastic. The chorus is more like a breakdown due to the mix, just making everything more intense, more out in front, and the music is just aggressive in general. And I love that this song is brutal all the way through. I figured that the bridge would let up at least a little bit, but nope, it's basically just a big old build-up going into the breakdown that makes you want to throw punches at the wall. All the while, there's this gentle guitar melody hanging out in the background. There's a lot of layers to this song, and the more you listen to it, the more you'll find them. Then we have one of my favorite songs, which is Jaded. It has a perfect transition out of Cellar Door. It has a fat bass line in the verse under Courtney's angelic vocals. The refrain shows the frustration of retaining wholeness or not being able to retain wholeness or passion or feel complete in one's life before the chorus gently faces the reality of basically being jaded. And verse 2 has aggressiveness as it's basically expressing a dream that speaks of what if things were different. So this song, it really does communicate the feelings of being jaded. Like, what if, I was able to do these different things and feel this way about them? And I absolutely love the passion that Courtney brings to the final chorus with her vocals, where she's just really pushing it. Too Close, Too Late continues that emotion felt in the final chorus of Jaded. The imagery in the song is fantastic, and the drums help out a lot in the chorus. The vocal effect in the bridge makes it feel like there's a choir of some sort singing along. At times I liked it, at times I didn't really like it. I don't really care too much for vocal effects, especially on, vocals that are so good like Courtney's. I don't really see the need for it. Sure, it might help with the imagery, I guess you could say, that they're trying to get out, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. The instrumental between the bridge and the chorus, so, is absolutely fantastic. Then we have Angel Eyes, which brings the brutality back with the bouncy drum beat. The chorus is so addicting thanks to the guitar in the background and just the overall rhythm between the vocals and just the riff. The breakdown is the heaviest thing on this record, I'd be willing to say, and it's absolutely brilliant as it transitions into the last chorus. This one is definitely made for moshing, but at the same time, the vocals are saying a lot more. The lyrics are saying a lot more. You could really get into the depth of the song, and it fits the overall concept of this album. I didn't really care too much for The Void the first time I heard it as a single, but I gotta admit, it definitely grew on me. The imagery is great, and I love how just level everything is. There's not too many hills and valleys, not too many like ups and downs or quiet moments and big soaring moments. It just flows so well all the way through. And I think that The Void is probably a reference to depression and anxiety, and the metaphors that they use are great. Probably more towards anxiety than anything else, as the bridge and the pre-chorus kind of point to general anxiety and the feeling of impending doom. And I love how Courtney's basically saying, like, what if these fears weren't here anymore? Where do they go when they die? How do I feel? What's it like to not be afraid, in a sense? Which is kind of cool if you think about it, especially for people who struggle with anxiety. This is something that, like, it's hard for people like that to fathom. Like, what would it be like to do this without feeling like I'm going to have a panic attack, which is a very real, like, you just become so familiar with these feelings. It almost feels like weird to not have anxiety doing certain things. And that brings us to the closing track, Ultraviolet, which I think is kind of like a declaration of breaking out of this mental state. There's a lot of textures and really cool, colorful melodies found in the chorus that I loved. The emotion of the song gets across really well, and you can really hear kind of like the closure within the vocals. And because of that, it makes it a great closing track, as this thing starts off struggling with all these different mental health anxieties and things, and it finishes off being like, I am going to make it through this. I'm going to leave this behind. At least that's kind of how I took it. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it is. Because of that, I don't know, even though it's dealing in real life, it's definitely a concept album, as it's just one solid thought. This EP it's beautiful. Even the more aggressive, heavier moments are really graceful. The mixture between the catchier melodic songs and the heavy hitters is absolutely perfect. Even though they're found mixed all in there, you know, they're not all bunched together in different groups. This thing just flows all the way through really nice, and the mix I feel like helps a lot with that as well, especially with the atmosphere and just the overall kind of modern feel to this music, especially on the more clean tracks. The only issues I really had were the vocal effects, which to me took away from Courtney's vocals. Sure, like I said before, it kind of adds into the imagery or the theme that they're going for, but at the same time, I don't know, I just love the rawness that could be found in her distorted and clean vocals. And I feel like the mix was already, like I said, it's modern, so it's already really polished, and throwing in the vocal effect, it just made it, I don't know, it just made it a little bit less enjoyable for me. But I can see how people would enjoy it, because it does add to, you know, it just adds to it. But yeah, it just made it less impactful during those moments. So because of that, I gotta give The Fear of Fear by Spiritbox a 4.3 out of 5. I don't know what you guys think. I have a feeling this EP might be kind of polarizing due to the fact that most people love Spiritbox's heaviness, and a lot of people love their more catchy songs. And me personally, I love both. I lean a little bit more towards the clean, sparkly songs that they have, which is pretty weird, because I normally don't like clean vocals within my metalcore music. I don't really enjoy it that much, but Courtney and gang definitely do a good job at writing songs that stand out. It definitely sounds like Spiritbox when you hear them, and I don't know, I just get a lot of enjoyment from it. So yeah, leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of The Fear of Fear. Let me know what you'd rate it and what your favorite song is. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Doing that helps me out so much with YouTube's algorithm. And if you want to help support me and my channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Doing those two things help me out a lot as well. Doing anything is just, I don't know, just thank you so much for taking time out of your day to even sit here and listen to me talk about music. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.